Hello and welcome. I'm Janine Howard from Life Extraordinary, and today's training is all about the elegance factor, making money the elegant way. See, there's one big problem that I've found over coaching women over the last few years, and that is women not making the money they truly deserve and they truly desire. You know, it really breaks my heart when I see a lot of women just getting by in their business, you know, putting so many hours in every single week and really not seeing the returns. You know, think about it this way. There's probably a lot of you out there and, you know, that have been running your business for a couple of years, maybe a few years, and you're still not really earning a lot of money. In fact, you could probably earn a lot more money working for someone else. Now look, I get it. If you're a mum like me, the reason for going out in your own business is usually so that you can have more flexibility and more freedom in your life. You know, you can have choice in terms of spending time with your children and your family. However, does that really happen? When you're running your own business, the reality can be it's hard work. You know, the reality can be that you're doing more hours than what you ever would have done in a corporate job. The reality can be that you're doing more hours and earning less and still not having that time, flexibility, or freedom that you actually desired to have in the first place. Look, some of us go out into business because we've got a passion and a calling and a really awesome idea, and we go out and we, you know, move into the world of business and really try and make it there. You know, and the statistics of businesses failing are really quite high. Look, I don't even bother wanting to talk about that. I prefer to talk about the opposite in just a moment, but the reality is that it can be really tough. And look, to be honest, I know exactly what it's like to work a lot of hours in your business and not really see the financial returns. So today's training, I'm going to walk you through what I believe is the new way of doing business. Now, the new way of doing business is very different to the old way. And I'm actually going to explain a little bit about the feminine energy versus the masculine energy and how we're actually in an era of the rise of the feminine energy. And so there's a really great opportunity for women in particular during this period to really find your calling and to really get paid wonderfully for that. Today, I'm also going to talk about the shifts you need to make in your mindset, mindset around money and mindset around time, mindset around what business should be, that you can do to actually start creating this type of business for yourself. I'm also going to then talk upon how you can call upon your natural talents and gifts to be able to create a business that is born from you solely, which is often the scariest place we can ever start a business from, something that's based purely on our talents and gifts. And we'll go into why that is a little bit later in the training and some ways to move through that. Lastly, in today's training, I'm going to talk about manifestation. You know, manifesting everything that you desire and how to bring it into your world. You know, I've been on a journey for many years now on learning the art of manifestation, and it's a bit of a tricky one. You know, sometimes I don't get it right, sometimes I wobble a little bit in my manifestation, but I tell you what, when I'm on point, that manifestation is so powerful. So I'd really like to give you some tools on manifestation by the end of today's training. So stick with me if you are looking for a new way of doing business. If you're looking to use your innate gifts and talents, even if you don't think you've got them, we've all got them, and use that reason why you're put here on this earth and use them in such a way that, you know, is for good. I might go put my cape on in a second, but you know, what I want you to do is call upon those gifts and talents to see what legacy you can create in this world, what legacy you can create in your own life and for your family going forward. Now that may sound really big, but you know what? This is the time to be doing this. You know, this is the time where we don't have to do business the old way, in a masculine way. You know, I'll really talk through this training today on some really elegant ways of feeling fantastic about your business, of really making a difference, and making some really awesome money at the same time. So without further ado, let's get into the Elegance Factor training for today. So to start off with, I thought I'd really share some of my story and why I then found a new way of doing business. So my quick story is that I have been in magazines and media for many years, for about 13 years now, and I am no way, shape or form qualified to work in a magazine. I'm a biologist by trade. Long story how that happened, but I got into magazines and I loved it. I loved selling, advertising, meeting with people. I loved, the clothes and the fashion. I loved, the events and all of that kind of thing. I really thrived on being given deadlines and budgets. It was very, very deadline driven, very, frantic kind of pace world that I lived in, but it was balanced out by, some events and, a few little champagnes here and there. Anyway, long story short, I ended up being sort of rising up the corporate ladder, so to speak, in that industry, and found that that was not for me. I was like, hang on a second, this is not a world that I really want to be part of. And where that came from was, for me, I wanted to make change. I wanted to make a difference. And not that those companies weren't making change or a difference, but it took a bloody long time. Seriously, baby. It was like trying to turn the Titanic. So for me, I really wanted to have more impact and do things quicker. So I decided to go and start my own business. I had no idea what I was getting myself in for. But you know what? I had a really good idea. So I started a magazine business, and this is in Australia, Queensland, on the Sunshine Coast, beautiful place. I remember my ex-boss saying to me, oh, well done on your first issue. Good job. But you know what? Let's see if we round by issue 3. He didn't have a lot of faith, to be honest, in perhaps me, or who knows, perhaps even women in business. But you know what? I proved him wrong. Not only did I make it to my 3rd issue, that particular publication has been going for 10 years now. Yep, 10 years, and it's thriving business, and most of the staff that I employed are still there, which is really fantastic. But the point of this story is that I was doing business in the old way, and that was that I had to work hard to make that business run. And I mean hard. I had to put in hours every day, every night, most weekends. Not only was it my time that I had to put in, I had to put in physical effort as well. So I was doing business the hard way. And, physical work, mental work, just, I did that business for quite a few years, and, it really was, it was awesome and fun, and, it really ticked off my goals, but I forgot to mention that I wanted to have a life and to have ease and health and all those things. So, it didn't really serve me that well. My husband at the time was working in corporate, in the government, and, doing a lot of work, not getting paid much, a lot of stress, etc. So he had also thought about taking some time off and starting his own business. So he did that, and I was doing that. And to be honest, it didn't really work out too well for both of us. I was turning over a lot of money in that business, but really not seeing any profit, and let alone thinking about the lifestyle. In the old way of doing business, I forgot that putting in time for yourself and putting in time to live was a crucial part of business. I didn't know that. So I got burnt out really, really super quickly. I also really struggled to have a family. It took quite a few attempts for us to have our first baby, and once he came along, it was a real game changer. I thought there has to be a different way to doing business than doing it this way, where I'm employing all of these people and looking after them, paying them, helping them pay their mortgages, just struggling to pay my own mortgage, stressing out all of the time, having 1,000,001 things that I need to do all of the time, and never really feeling like I could take a break and have a rest. So having a baby really changed that for me. It really woke me up to hang on, I think there's a different way. It wasn't until a little while later that I really did figure out what that way was. But I remember one day my husband and I had been and visited his agent. So he's an actor. And she just said to us, you know what, why don't you guys just move to Melbourne? You know, you've got nothing to lose. And we turned to each other and went, well, why don't we? You know, so we literally packed everything up. We sold our businesses, said goodbye to friends. You know, I was really established in that community and decided to head down to Melbourne we had an address. You know, we'd rented a place online and decided just to move down. So we did. You know, it took us maybe 4 weeks between making that decision and heading down and really making a life for ourselves that felt like a new way. It felt like we were stepping out into an unknown world of like, whoa, normal people don't do this. Normal people, you know, have a normal job. You're employed by someone and you get paid to do a job, and on the weekends you might have a bit of relaxation time, or if you have your own business, there's not a lot of that and there's a lot of stress. So we headed down and he delved into the world of acting. Luckily for us, we did have some money from the sale of my magazine to kind of keep us afloat for a while. So that was great. And it gave me the opportunity to decide what it is that I really wanted to do. So enter the new way of doing business. I had always been one of those people that someone would ask, hey, can I buy you a cup of coffee and, you know, bend your ear and, you know, can you give me some advice? And, you know, I did that quite happily. And, you know, I loved doing that. I loved helping people with their business. You know, one of the things about working in the magazine environment, especially in the advertising side, was that it was my job to help people in their business, and specifically through marketing. So I kind of, you know, I knew what I was talking about. And I dealt with thousands of small business owners and medium business as well on the problems in their business, the lack of money in their business, and so on. And it was my job to help them get more money in through advertising. So I went, I wonder if I could do this coaching thing. And just as a sidebar, at that time, I couldn't even say the word coach. I couldn't call myself a coach. Being Australian, coaching isn't really an industry that's looked upon very, I don't know, kind of like, you know, we look upon, sorry for these people out there, but, you know, car salesmen, used car salesmen in particular, you know, it's kind of wasn't in my vocabulary, but I knew that I wanted to help people in their business, women in particular. So I just started doing this coaching thing. Now I want to take you to that story a little bit later on how I actually set that up. But to wrap up this first part of the training, I want you to have a think about the old way of doing business versus new. So let's look at the old way. The old way is a very masculine energy. The old way of doing business is that we've got to work hard, we've got to make the money, we've got to, you know, slave away, you know, put our time, put our hours in, perhaps put a lot of our own money into the business. We shouldn't make money for the first few years because that's what building a business is all about. We need to pay our staff first before I pay ourselves. Don't worry about me. I'm not going to take a wage for quite a long time. You know, see that old way of doing business. In our universe, we have actually been in the masculine energy for a very long time. Think about how the world is run for a very long time. It's been run effectively by men. And, you know, that's not anything against men, but it's more that masculine energy. And it hasn't really served us well over the time. In particular, if you've been a woman over the centuries, it hasn't served us well at all. Think about women who spoke up. You know, you were ostracized, you were criticized. You know, you could have even been burnt at the stake if you spoke up. You know, think about this. This is not that long ago that our society belief systems were that women should be subservient, women shouldn't speak up. We didn't even have the right to vote till the recent times. You know, think about how that energy of the masculine has really dominated for such a long time. So it's no wonder that women like myself and yourself, when you're starting a business, you kind of go into that masculine energy. Like, it's okay that I don't earn money for a long time. It's okay that, you know, I work my absolute ass off and, you know, spend all of this time, but not really getting the rewards. You know, that's okay. I'll get them one day. Well, you know what? I don't think that's okay. I've done that before. I've been in the masculine energy. A couple of years ago, we started to move into the feminine realm, or the feminine energy. And you can probably see this. There's been the rise of the feminine. I don't mean the feminists like burn your bra, but you can see how women have started to be able to speak up. In recent times, we've had women really starting to be seen in society, really started to be seen as an entrepreneur and really rising up through the ranks. We've still got a really long way to go, but that's okay. You know, we're getting there. So the feminine energy around doing business in a new way is that money doesn't have to be hard to come by. You don't have to slave away to make really fantastic money. You don't have to work a gazillion hours and work yourself to the bone and, you know, not be there for your family and not have a life to earn really amazing money. Now, I'm in the realm of coaching, so, you know, that realm is a really good industry, especially overseas, you know, in the States. It's a booming industry. I think it's $11 billion a year industry. In Australia, it's not even anywhere near there. You know, we're starting to see some women pop up in this industry and start to be leaders. And the coaching industry is thought of that it is just, you know, business coaching, life coaching, that kind of thing. But you know what? If you're in any kind of service-based industry, you're really in coaching. You know, what we're doing is we're coaching people on their business. So perhaps you're a graphic designer. You're actually coaching businesses on how to build their brand, you know, how to create a brand presence through creative design. If you're a photographer, you're really in the realm of coaching, you know, especially if you're in the realm of taking photos of women in business. You know, you're trying to coach them to bring out the best in them. Interior stylists, you know, you're coaching your potential clients on what is possible for them in their home and what that can create for them. You know, everything that we do in that sort of service space is about coaching. But I believe that inside each of us, we have gifts and unique talents which we can call upon to create packages that are of service to others that we can actually get paid handsomely for, and the money that we deserve to be paid for. So you're feeling what that new way of doing business is, in that new feminine energy, that money can come a lot easier to you than in the old way of doing business. I want to now tell you a story about when I first started my coaching business, just to give you an idea of what is possible. I started my coaching practice 3 years ago, and as I was mentioning before, I couldn't even call myself a coach. I was like the Fonz, you know, yeah, I'm a coach. Took me a while to get over that, but you know, that's some belief system stuff there. But in my first month of putting myself out there and offering some packages, I was earning $1,500. And this was a side business, by the way, and I had an 8-month-old baby. Now, I was only working a couple of days a week, so it was just on the people. I had no list, nothing. I sold that with my last business. It was just through putting out calls to, you know, people who are on my Facebook page. Like, I made a business page, but I had a couple of hundred people liking the page. So I put it out and, you know, basically said, if you're a woman looking to, you know, up-level your business and up-level your mindset, I'm looking to coach a handful of women and make a difference in your life. And, you know, I booked a handful of clients, and by my 5th month, I was bringing in about $5,000. Now, I'm not saying it was super easy, but what I am saying is that I called upon my unique gifts and talents, something that I kind of was doing before anyway, and getting paid for a coffee. And I packaged it up in such a way that people would pay for it and they would get results from it. And it started really showing me what was possible. At the same time, I was running magazines. So they're in my, print ink runs through my veins. I can't keep away from the magazines. I love it. It's my creative outlet. I love making a difference on a wider scale, even if it's not for a payment type thing. So, I was doing that as my priority of the business. The coaching was secondary. So, the coaching was just a side gig that I did, and it made some really great money, and I loved the coaching. Then I started to go, imagine if I focused more on this coaching gig that I was doing. And so I got a new coach. I had been coached by a beautiful woman through that first period, and she really showed me the ropes of exactly what to do, and it was fantastic. But then it was time to get the next level coach. And you know what? This coach said to me, the quickest that any of her clients have gone to six figures, and to six figures means earning on average $8,333 per month. She said the quickest anyone's done that was in 31 days. She gave her a target of 30 days. So she said to me, I want you to be the first to get to six figures in your business in 30 days. Red rag bull, people. One of the things I will say about myself, I'm very driven. And when I really put my mind to things, I'm quite competitive as well. So, because I wanted to be the first, I did it. So I took my business from, I remember when I spoke to her on the phone, I had $1,500 in my bank account. Yeah. And remember too, my husband's an actor, so it's not as if he's bringing in any form of regular money. It was like spits and spurts all over the place. $1,500, we had a baby who was probably about a year old by now. Actually, no, he's a little bit older, and I was pregnant with my second one. Yeah, I had $1,500 in my account. My rent was more than that per month. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I had to do something. So all I did was I absolutely conjured up every ounce of energy I possibly had and focus and drive about getting. It was basically 10 clients for me, and 10 clients was life changing. So in 2 weeks, I got 10 new clients. 10 new awesome clients. They were my ideal clients. They were a bunch of really amazing women. And some of you are watching this video right now because you've stuck with me. You're still here, whether you're coaching with me here or not, you're still reading my newsletters and interacting. And I love you for that because, I keep wanting to change your life with you. So I made six figures basically in that time, or, was on my track to get six figures. Look, again, long story short, bought another magazine. It was a goal of mine to have it was actually an international print magazine in news agencies. Loved it. But what I saw was that I went back into that old patterning of masculine. I went into, I was working hard. I had a baby by this stage, a newborn baby when my first issue came out. I was back at work 5 days after having her, and I worked from home, so it wasn't that hard. But, I was really putting in the hours. And you know what? There wasn't a lot of money there for me again. My coaching money started to go down, and, here I was back in the old days. I could see it coming. I could see it starting to get that masculine energy, and I could see myself starting to pull away again into that world. So at the start of 2016, I made a decision that I was no longer available for that masculine world of business anymore. I was never going to go back there. So I decided to sell that magazine. I didn't have to, but I kind of, it was like one of those, thorns in my side, that it was like a trigger that kept making me go into that masculine energy, working too hard. So it was better gone, clear out the energy. So once that was out, I went, well, imagine what could happen with my coaching practice, my service-based business, if I just focused on that 4 days a week. I got a new coach again. I signed up for a big group coaching program this time. And within 4 months, I was tripling my income, tripling my monthly income. So I was well over 6 figures and on track for 6 figures plus within 6 months of purely focusing on my service-based business in a feminine way, that I coached women 2.5 days a week, and then 1 day a week I did my marketing, and the half day I kept to myself. You know, I went and got my hair done. I went and did the things that I truly desired to do. And you know what? I did less work, less stressing, less energy around that in terms of like that masculine energy, really leant back and allowed that business to unfold. So what were the shifts that I needed to make to have that business that really allowed me to be the best version of myself and also to serve women the best? Well, the shifts were that I got really in touch with what I desired. So what I desired in my business, but what I also desired in my life and for me. And, you know, those desires, I wrote them down, you know, to find those desires, by the way, and I hope you're writing this down, pen and paper. To find those desires, you've got to go inward. You've really got to create space and time where you've got time to actually think about what it is that you desire. It's really difficult for us on a daily basis to even know what we desire. You know, if I said to a woman today, you know, a busy mum of 2 and she's, you know, working part-time and all of that, and said, what do you really desire? And she'd go, oh, probably sleep. But she probably wouldn't be able to move beyond that. So I got in touch with what I really desired to do. I desired to travel overseas to beautiful places. And, you know, I've done that. This year I've gone to Paris, Florence, and LA. And I'm going to Miami in very shortly. Next year I'll be going to Paris again, which you can join me. There'll be more about that, doing a little Paris retreat. Awesome. You know, I wanted to travel. And I'm talking, I traveled without my children. You know, I was able to sit on an aeroplane and actually drink a glass of wine and, you know, use a knife and fork to eat my meal. I laugh about that, but seriously, when you're a mum of 2 children under 4, that's a big win. So, you know, 24 hours on an aeroplane back and forth, you know, being able to use a knife and fork, winning. What I also desired was to, you know, go and get my hair done on a regular basis, have regular massages, you know, have regular facials. You know, for me, it's not so much about the clothes, that kind of thing. I do like a, you know, a new frock every now and again. So, you know, desired that. But it was really having lots of connected family time, lots of connected time with girlfriends, really just living life. Now, that's our God-given right, or universe-given right, or, you know, we were born coming to this world knowing that, well, we didn't know this, we were born into this world that's what we're here for, is to live. We're not here to just work all of the time and, you know, stress out, you know. We're actually here to have fun. We're here to be happy and joyful and do the things that fire us up. So when I got really clear on those desires for me, and they were more than that, you know, they're just the sort of, you know, tangible things. It was really about how I felt. When I got really clear about how I wanted to feel all of the time, I then made sure that my business supported that, not the other way around. So by creating a business from what I truly desired, by listing all of those things down and making a choice that they were far more important than anything else in the world. You know, for me, it's family first, me first actually, then family. Then I was able to create this beautiful business that was on my terms. I was able to then work out, well, hang on a second, what do I need monetary wise to create that lifestyle? So I made sure that my services were energetically matched in a way that served me and served my clients. So here's another really big tip for this training today, is that going back to, if you've watched the money mindset videos leading up to this, that money is just energy. And if you're giving all of the time in your business and you're not being energetically matched with the right amount of money, you're actually like a leaking bucket. So think of a bucket, no matter how much water you pour in it, if it's got holes in the bottom, it just keeps draining out. It's never going to get full to the top. So you as a woman, if you're not energetically matched with the amount of money that you're bringing in, you're just like a leaking little bucket, like a little wet rag on the floor in the corner. I've been there. I know that you have too. That's not enough. That is not happening here in this world, people. And I want you to step up for yourself and go, I'm not doing that anymore. So have a think about energetically what money needs to come in to fill you up, to keep you full, to keep you at the best version of yourself, to pay your bills, to have more than enough. How much is that money? So I want you to now get clear on what that money is. Forget what you're currently earning and bringing in, all of that. I want you to have a look at the money that you really desire to have that energetically matches for what you would like and desire in your world, that keeps you full. Go and write that down. Go and work that out after this training video. It's really super important you do that. And then I'm going to explain the next step in just a moment. Let's say that you've gone and got that figure, and let's say it's $5,000 a month. Then what you need to do is have a look at how can you make $5,000 a month in the most elegant, feminine way possible. Now, if you are a product-based business, there's a lot of products you need to sell. So I wonder if there's anything else that you have, your talents, your gifts, your natural abilities that you have. Those things that your girlfriends go, oh, you're really good at that. Oh, you're really good at organizing parties. Oh, you're really good at designing invitations. Oh, you're really good at etc., etc., etc. Have a think if there is something that you have as a talent that you could possibly monetize. And one of my gifts is being able to help you find that, to be able to find your unique gifts and talents, and actually then creating a package around that. That means sometimes for my clients, we do this exercise and we go, wow, you only need to sell 2 clients those packages to make your $5,000 for that month. Now, obviously those packages are high-end packages and there's a lot being given out. Remember, we want to energetically match that money. We don't want to be ripping people off in any way, shape or form. This is not about like, ooh, let's make lots of money and, pull the wool over people's eyes. No, I'm talking about a service that is energetically matched for a win-win for your client and for you. When we do this energetic match, everybody's happy. So I wonder what that is for you. Go away and spend some time just writing down. Sometimes it takes a little while to get this. And, usually having the help of someone else telling you what your great talents are is a really good start. Then once you've done that, I'm going to start the next section of the training, and that's about manifestation. And it's about calling in that money that you desire in such a way that you can get it in as quick as you possibly can. Because I know that a lot of you are probably sitting there and going, oh, it's all fine and well for you. Oh, well, you must have had this and you must have had that and you're different to me. I'm no different to you. That's why you're watching this video. I'm no different to you. Just that I've worked it out and I've done it and I've proven that it works. So know that this can happen for you. I'm talking about if I can do it, you can do it. The reason I'm saying that is because if you've watched any of my videos before, if you've read my newsletters, know that I've got stuff going on from way back, childhood stuff, money mindset, lack of self-worth, lack of confidence, fear of failure, fear of success. You name those fears, I've had them. And to a degree, I've still got them deep down in there, but I've opened them up, I've looked at them, I've explored them, and I've moved through them as much as I possibly can. So if I can do it, you can do it too. For the last part of today's training, I'm going to walk you through manifestation. And, it does sound like something a little bit woo-woo. I'm down with woo-woo, by the way. But manifestation is really a universal law that what intention you put out and what vibration you vibrate at is what you're going to get back. Now, I want you to write this down because this is a real process. You know, manifestation is a tricky little thing. And, you know, I try and manifest things all of the time. Most of the time it works for me. Sometimes if there's something a little bit out, it doesn't really work. And I'll run through what that is, you know, where you can fix this up, so to speak. Do you even know understanding of the power of manifestation? I've been manifesting all my life and had no idea that it was called manifestation. You know, manifestation essentially is working at what you truly desire to have and then going for it with the absolute full conviction, faith, and belief that it's already done, that it is coming. You know, it's that vibrational level that there's not second guessing it, it's not questioning it, it's not having fear around it. It's just like, well, that's what's happening. That's already done. And I'm sure you've probably had experiences through your life that that's happened. You know, so for me, manifestation has been in things like, you know, having that national newsstand magazine. But to bring it down to money, because I know you all want to know about how to get more money. Specifically, at the start of this year, we had a period of time where we needed to conjure up $35,000 in a really short space of time. Like I'm talking, you know, within a few weeks. And there was all sorts of things we had. We were moving to a new house. We needed bond. We needed rent. We needed this. We needed that. We needed, you know, flights, money, coaching money, you know, all of this money. And all of that money we, you know, truly desired to have. And some are like bills. So, you know, you just have to pay your bills. That's what, you know, the world is. And, you know, it doesn't sound that exciting, but when you put that art of manifestation onto it, you can bring that in as well. So we got really super clear. So here is the steps. Number one is getting really clear on your desire. When you really know what it is that you want, it's far easier to get it, okay? Number two is get very specific with that. Be as detailed as you possibly can. So if it's money, you know, if it's, I want to conjure up or manifest $35,000, be specific about how much it is. And also then number three, when you want that to come in, because no point manifesting $35,000 and you might be on your deathbed and $35,000 comes, yay, but you needed it like 20 years ago. I want you to also then, number four, be really clear on the purpose of that money or the why behind it. You know, what is it going to do for you? You know, having that money. We're talking money specifically here. Then number five, I want you to evaluate the authenticity of that desire. You know, is it really something that you truly desire? You know, it can just be a surface thing. When we really look underneath, it's, you know, all mixed up with a whole heap of things. So make sure you really authentically desire to have that. The next step is super duper important, and that is staying out of the hows. Do not worry how this is going to come. When we place emphasis on how this is going to come, we start thinking left brain, we start thinking analytical, we start thinking critical, we start questioning, doubting, fears, ego, etc. Don't go that way. Stay at the house. All right. Then what I often do is just ask the universe, how would you have me manifest this? Now, if you haven't done manifestation before, you might feel like a bit of a cuckoo, but you know what? This is getting in touch with source, getting in touch with the universe. You know, this is, you know, a new spirituality. This is a new belief system. Well, it's not new. People have been new it thousands of years, but for me, it's very new. So, you know, how would you have me manifest this? Then I want you to wait for divine download or inspired action. Listen, what do you need to do? And then go and do it. Usually it's one thing that'll come to your head, just one thing. Go and do that one thing. It might be go and make that phone call. Go and put that offer out on Facebook. Go and create that sales page. Go and, you know, one thing, just take one thing. So imagine if you did this on a daily basis and each day you did this same process and you asked, how would you have this manifested? And then you thought, the one thing that you need to do right there and then. That's a lot of one things add up to a lot of action. Now, I do use a lot of other modalities to manifest things, and I think I'll run through them on a different training day because I want to be quite detailed about them. And today we don't have enough time, but there's ways that you can manifest even quicker. So anchor in things during the day. I love what Denise Duffield Thomas says from Lucky Bitch. When she was going through that period of trying to win this competition, and it was a all expenses paid year-round trip, blogger of the year, something like that, world's ultimate job. She did 50 anchors during the day. So she had reminders on her phone. She had, passwords were changed. She had calendar reminders. She had sticky notes. She had vision boards, everything you possibly can do to help this manifestation go to come to fruition for you. So that's manifestation. And, just a recap of what we've discussed today on today's training is that there is a new way of doing business. There's a new feminine way that is more a leaning back, more an accepting of money coming to you and using your unique gifts and talents. And then getting clear on what it is that you desire to have in your world, how you would like your world to look and feel for you. And then using the power of manifestation to bring that into your world. Easy? Yeah? Look, if it was super duper easy, we'd all be doing it. So know that this has taken me a long, long time of, working with coaches, of doing a lot of research, a lot of personal development, tens and thousands of dollars of personal development coaching, every day really creating my art of manifestation and really creating that art of getting myself into a higher vibration to be able to receive and to be able to accept that this is my world, and doing it in such a beautiful, feminine, elegant way. So that ends today's training, the elegance factor of how to make money in a more elegant way. So I want you to have a look at the links down below. I've got a really super duper special bonus happening at the end of today's training, and that is for you to come and join me in working this out for you. Now, in my coaching practice, I only take on max 10 one-on-one clients. Now, I can't do more than that because energetically, I just don't have the time nor the energy. But I am looking for 10 women. In fact, some places have already been taken, but 10 women who are looking to create this in their world, who are really open to doing business a new way, in a feminine way, of letting me help you tap into your unique gifts and talents to be able to create a business structure that brings in money in a far more elegant, effortless way than perhaps you've been doing previously. You might even be in a job still and want to, go and create this for yourself. Now, I will put the pause button on and say only if you are ready for this. I'm not in the game of dragging people through this. You need to be ready, and you need to have that real desire to do more for yourself, and it is going to cost you money. I pay my coaches and I pay them really fantastic money because what I pay, I get back. So of course, energetically, we need to ensure that what I'm asking for is energetically matched to you and vice versa for it to be a win-win. It's going to be a win-win because I've got a really super awesome bonus. If you're watching today's training, I'm giving away a full VIP day intensive for the women who sign up within the next 24 hours of this training video going live. Okay, a full VIP day. My pricing is currently $3,000 for that day. It is going up to $5,000 as of the 15th of October. So you're effectively getting, a $3,000 or $5,000 full day. In that day, we'll absolutely work this out. We'll uncover your blocks. We'll look at the strategies that you need to take. We'll uncover your unique gifts and talents. We'll create a package and we'll create a plan to move forward. So it's a 6-month program. 10 women, 6 months, We're going to tap into your unique gifts and talents. We're going to create packages. We're going to create your brand. We're going to create your marketing. You know, I've been there and done it. We're going to create all of those sales funnels, landing pages, all masculine stuff. I'm going to create all of that together. I'm going to help keep you on mindset track and help you manifest what it is you desire. Help you even work out what it is you desire along the way. So that effectively by the end of that 6 months, you're going to have a business that is based on your desires and your passions, based on your unique gifts and talents, that makes a difference in the world and pays you handsomely. Okay, wouldn't that be really cool? Again, remember, I'm only after people who are ready to do this. I'm only after people who are ready to step out of their comfort zone, step above those fears and so forth. And, you know, let's make those 5K months a reality for you. If you're already making 5K, let's make 10K months or 20K months a reality for you. You know, this is never a get rich thing. You have to do the work. You know, I'm here to help you and to guide you and show you the way and to, you know, give you tools and resources, but you have to do the work, just like I've had to do in my business. But you know what? It's not hard work. It's not a struggle. It's not like multiple hours. We want to do this with elegance. So if that calls to you, the pricing is below for those of you who sign up as a fast action bonus. Within the next 24 hours, you will get a VIP full day intensive, either via Skype or in person if you can come and see me in Melbourne. We can do one in Miami or Paris as well. So that's for you as a fast action bonus, and know that they're going to go quick. You know, I'm after action takers. You know, let's do this, people. If this video is calling to you, come and work with me. Let's make this happen for you and make it a reality. Until next time, thanks for joining me on the Elegance Factor. It's been super awesome having you here. I hope you've learnt a lot. And look, if you are still not sure about the program but want to know a bit more, don't worry, you can book a free call with me down below and we'll have a free 30-minute chat about what it is that I feel we can bring out of you together. All right, until next time, au revoir.